Jesus!
I am the War Chief.
Hello my friends and welcome to another hololive reaction. Today we'll be taking a look at TOWA's new original, Anemone. Not quite sure why it's named that, but I'm gonna try to figure out why that is. So the MV does not have any CCs, but thankfully the TOWA Clips channel has left a translation in the comments, so I'll be overlaying that in the video later, okay? For now, let's just get this thing started. Here we go. And as usual, we'll be doing a quick pass and a lyric break. Let's get this thing going, shall we? And go. Jesus! Oh my god, you cannot start a song that intensely. Is this like TOWA-SAMA'S Tot Musica? Good god! And the colors are so violently red. TOWA-SAMA, I thought your color was purple. Oh my god, the art! Oh my lord! The gaze in that portrait! God, there's something hypnotic about this. Oh my lord! Do you hear how heavily those guitars are hitting? This is amazing! Oh my goodness! Well, I'll tell you one thing, guys. When this shows up inevitably in the originals list, instant whiplash. Oh, the green of her eyes contrasting with the black and white and red. My goodness. God, there's something so... so intimidating about that port. Like she's staring straight into your soul. Whoa. Damn. I am gonna have to take this slow and process this with the lyrics. My lord. Those whispers. Oh my god, it's her portrait at the back. Like at the end of all the arches. My goodness, this picture. This artwork. Oh, the slow tempo guitars. There's the title drop, but still need to figure this out. This is like TOWA's final boss theme. Isolated vocals right at the end. And then you get hit with more guitars and drums. You know, normally I'm not a big fan of songs just randomly cutting out like that. But in this case, the way it cut out was so perfect, and it just added to it so much. Like, one final bit of impact. You hear that last drum beat and then cut. My god, like this song could... I would love to see an edit of this song in a game like Devil May Cry 5 or Metal Gear Rising. It sounds like the kind of song you'd find in those kinds of games. This is TOWA's final boss theme. Yes. Whew. Don't really have much else to say. Let's go and rewind this thing and take a closer look at the lyrics, shall we? I know some of you are only here for the quick pass, and for that I appreciate you guys for hanging out all the same. But for those of you who are here for the lyric breakdown, well, I'll display it right here. We'll get to this. Here you go. I will be pausing here and there. You guys know the drill by now. I was born a red flower. Akahana. I was born a red flower. Just swaying all alone. Living with no answers. And Anemone. Alright. So there are already, just looking at the first impression, that there is already quite a bit of a darker tone to this song. Just by looking at the harsh reds, the dark colors, the contrast of white, and how heavy the guitars and the drums go from the very beginning. There's a lot. This song has a lot of weight to it. And Anemone is precisely this red flower here. I know some of us might be more familiar with the sea anemone, but that is a completely different thing. Here we are talking about the anemone, the flower, also known as a wind flower. Now, these things are known to be a little bit frail. They can be blown away by the wind. But the interesting thing with just that opening, I was born a red flower just swaying all alone, living with no answers. Considering that most anemones are seen in groups of around 2 to 9, yeah. So they're usually seen in a group. So maybe that's a reference to, how it's still her journey, or that there are others who have passed before. But let's continue this. Whew. My goodness. Excuses lead to a weak, foolish end. Crucified, the heart is crying. Can we just take a minute to appreciate this portrait? My God. That green in her eye, like dead center in this entire composition, makes it stand out so much. Framed by these harsh, strong reds with all the black, the grays, and all these harsh colors, and then that green that's just saturated and standing out. My goodness. Oof. Really makes you pay attention to that. Oof. These teardrops falling down from both my hands. You can't see them, can you? Then it ends here. Oh, sorry, I was a little bit ahead there. Whew, my goodness. The art, illustrations. And there, you see, she's holding it, the anemones. But it's interesting how in that first verse she was saying how these teardrops falling from both my hands, you can't see them, can you? Then it ends here. Perhaps that can also be an allegory to how flowers tend to just be background objects. Like when you pass by a flower IRL, you're just gonna take a quick look at it and you're like, oh, that's pretty. But you're not really gonna stand there and like take a closer look at all the details unless you were very interested in it. And perhaps that's the analogy that TOWA-SAMA is trying to make here. In that, when you're just she could feel like, yes, she is streaming. She is here putting herself out. But we don't really look closely, or we cannot know exactly what she could be going through. So the teardrops falling from both my hands, you can't see them, can you? Kind of like when there are morning dew drops on flowers, you know, you don't see them as tears. You just see, oh, the flower is wet. You know what I mean? So it makes the analogy work for this case. Let's continue into the chorus. Driven away by sad words and voices, looking down, the red flower smiles. If this pain deeply taking root is my atonement, then we'll never understand each other like this. And then, wow. So let's pick this apart a little bit. Driven away by sad words and sad voices and words, looking down, the red flower smiles. Funny enough, like when a flower looks down, even from a certain angle, the petals can still look like, you know, a smile, like that. And if this pain deeply taking root is my atonement, then we'll never understand each other like this. I'm not quite sure what this pain taking root is referring to necessarily, but perhaps it could have something to do with the fact that it's talking more about understanding. That when there are flowers around, then flowers are just background objects. You're not gonna stand there, take in all the details, and really try to, you know, understand the details. They're just in the background. And perhaps there is pain in being a background object. That could be what it's possibly referring to. Onwards. That art. This unchanging fate, the truth is absurd. Laid bare for all to see, this difference in sensation. Waving around that trite blade. You can't see it, can you? This unfading wound. There we go. And then that whispering part comes here. On the night the wind blows, the color of the falling flowers. You'll surely never know of it, will you? Okay, before we get to that part. This unchanging fate, the truth is absurd, laid bare for all to see. This difference in sensation. Waving around that trite blade, you can't see it, can you? This unfading wound. Once again, it's really going through that analogy, I think. That a flower is just in the background, just minding its own business. You're minding your own business. You're not coming to terms. You're not understanding. Because to you, this is just that. To it, maybe it has its own worries and its own problems. And that's right. You can't see it, this unfading wound. Because you're not paying attention to it. On the night the wind blows the color of the falling flowers, you'll surely never know of it, will you? Perhaps an analogy again. Another analogy to the fact that when flowers fall, how often do you actually get to witness it? Most of the time, we're indoors, we're working, we're doing whatever. And even when you're walking outside and the wind blows and the flowers fall, those are very rare occasions. For the most part, when you get outside, you already see the flowers on the ground. They have already fallen. And you don't see what happens. You just see the end result of it. But you don't see and understand, appreciate the process of how it got there. After falling to the deepest of depths, that black scenery, as the color darkens here, Looking down, the red flower cries. Woo! Art appreciation time! It's that art appreciation. Like, such a simple outfit, but it's the detail. It's all the detail that gives it so much life. The eyes, the way her eyes are drawn here, really pull you in. Ooh. Inside my rotting heart, still I pray. I want to live as I am. So listen to that. Inside my rotting heart, still I pray. I want to live as I am. Despite understanding that you just won't come to terms with a lot of things, yet you still want to live as you are. Towa still wants to be that anemone, that flower in the background, despite holding in all of the things and us not noticing, not really stopping and smelling the flowers. You know? Driven by sad voices and words, repeat of the chorus. Looking down, the anemone falls now. Even if this deeply rooted pain never fades, I'll keep struggling however long it takes. To these fleeting feelings, I reach out my hand. And it just cuts. I don't know. That's the way I interpret it, because even until the end there, it's a repeat of the chorus. But now it's like looking down, the anemone falls. This is the rare opportunity where you see the flower falling in the wind. But even if this deeply rooted pain never fades, I'll keep struggling however long it takes. To these fleeting feelings, I reach out my hand. Like, she embraces it. She welcomes it. It is her choice. You know, she's made that decision to live the way she has, and to also accept everything that comes with it. Even if she has to be that anemone, that red flower in the background that we will never understand. Still her choice to make. So I wonder if you guys have your own interpretation of the song, you know, of what perhaps the anemone stands for. What did you think of the song? What did you think of the lyrics? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? And please leave a comment, and we'll have one of our trademark discussions in the comments, eh? But for now, I would say our session is adjourned. Everybody, please take care of yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your day, afternoon, and evening, and I will see you in the next one. This is Senator Warchief signing out. Otsu Sen.